Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, that was huge. Holy crap.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that thing got wrecked.
Oh, did a real number on those. Well, hey guys, thanks for stopping by the channel. Guess you're here to see this beautiful Saiga 12 gauge that we have here. Before I get started on this thing, I really appreciate it for any of our subscribers that have come back to watch us. And if you're not subscribed, really hope you do that. Helps us out immensely, and I just think it'd be a fun thing for you to do because we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. So, the Saiga 12 gauge. We've had this for quite a long time and have really never made a video on it. We actually hardly ever bring it out, and there's some reasons why. We'll get into those a little bit later, but these have increased in value a lot, and if you know anything about the Saiga 12 gauge, you probably know why. In 2014, these were banned as far as being imported to the country because they were made in Russia. It was like a Russian weapons ban that happened back then. So anything that's in the country prior to that is still legal to own, and you can sell it, you know, the same way you would have before, but nothing after that has come in. And this is an actual Russian-made one. It is the actual Saiga 12 made by Ishmash, which is, I believe, were the original creators or manufacturers of the AK-47. And as many of you know, the Saiga 12 gauge borrows a lot from an AK platform. I mean, that's the cool thing about it. It looks just like one pretty much. You know, it has the same mounting system that the AKs have over here. The ergonomics of the gun are pretty much the same. The only one thing it does have is like a bolt hold open button, and that's kind of the one thing that's mainly different. But there's a lot of reasons we don't use this thing too often. I mean, you would think with the big capacity and the ease of shooting that it would be something we would use. But I don't know, there's just something about it. I mean, it is not very ergonomic. I mean, AKs, people say they are, but I don't know. Compared to other shotguns, it really isn't the greatest ergonomics. It is kind of a bear to shoot, and that's a lot to do with the stock. And with this one, when we got it, we had 3 stock options with it. There was a folder, this one, and something else, I can't remember. But we've had this on for a long time, and you can see it's a little short. I mean, actually, it's pretty short. I mean, that's a really short stuff, you know. And you're so close to everything going on. I mean, when you shoot it, you can literally hear all the inner workings of the gun moving when you're shooting. It's kind of interesting, but it recoils a lot with almost no matter what you shoot, and it does have a gas plug up here, which we'll show you. We're actually going to head inside in a little bit and actually get up close to this thing. We can show you what we're talking about, but it does have a little gas plug that you can switch the settings on depending on if you're shooting heavy or light loads. And that's just mainly, from what I understand, like helping out with the recoil. Supposedly you could have it on setting number 1, which is supposed to be for heavy, and as long as your lighter stuff that you're using is working and cycling correctly, you can just leave it there. But it's definitely not recommended to shoot on setting 2 with anything heavy, so don't ever do that. But I mean, this thing, it's really cool to have an actual Russian-made Saiga 12. And when we got this, it was for the prices back then, which weren't too bad. But yeah, if you're looking for one now, anyone selling one, it's going to be pretty expensive for you there, unfortunately. There are other guns out there that are kind of like this that are made in other countries, but yeah, I mean, not going to find one of these new, unfortunately. But we figured, hey, you know, it's been sitting around, so let's get it out, take some shots with it, show everybody what we got, and it's really cool. I mean, I don't really want to shoot anymore right now, because even those 3 shots, it definitely wallops. So why don't you join me inside in a little bit? We'll get to talking about this thing. All right, so this be the point where we're going to get down to business and look at this thing under a microscope, as they say. So, all right, right here, you're going to see our safety. And honest to God, this thing gets stuck all the time. Like this is a big complaint. This safety, it's easy to flip it up, but then flipping it down, a lot of times it gets stuck because it kind of goes too high. Like it goes like way up here. Like it shouldn't do that, and so sometimes
it could be a safety thing though.
It could. Well, the AKs aren't like that, but it could be on like that on this gun. I don't know. Now another thing I didn't really talk about is the trigger's pretty poor. It's not very fit. None of this stuff. Not the other word is very is you know, the polish, the fit and finish. You know, the grinding stuff down. It's okay, but you know, not great. The trigger feel is pretty terrible actually. On a shotgun, I don't think it's as important as on a rifle, but so we'll dump this magazine. Which, yeah, where does it say? There it goes. Saiga, made in the U.S. See if you can get that. On this side of the weapon, we shall see if you can get that to focus in there. All the nice markings that we have. We can see that it definitely says it was made by the infamous Ishmash and imported by that. What is that? The U.S. Sporting Goods Incorporated. You're never going to see that on a brand new one because you will never see a brand new one as long as they're illegal to import. So you're going to have to move to another country that's willing to import these, and I guess would have to be even more progressive than the United States. So, and right here is that mounting system I was talking about. You see this all the time on AKs, stuff like that. This grip, this furniture, very AK-like. This is a thing that's a little bit different than AKs. This is like the bolt catch. So if you want this to hold open, it's kind of an awkward thing, which is why I say the ergonomics of this suck. You need to pull it back, pull the bolt back with one hand, and push in that little tab with the other. And then you can hold it back. And then, of course, there is no bolt release. It's just this. If you can see these sights here, I mean, this is all you get. This is, I mean, it's not very, the sight radius is not that long. I don't have big hands in that. I mean, I can literally touch it. So, very, very tiny notch rear sight, and this little bead up here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. There is a notch, so you can use a tool like, I don't know, or like a coin or something like that. I'm sure there's a tool for it. Essentially what you do is you put something in here, you rotate this, but first you see a little pin. There's a little pin right down in there. It's just a spring-loaded pin. You have to depress that, and then you rotate this. This is like a screw cap in the end. You will rotate it to the setting that you need it to be. And as I said earlier, 1 is for heavy loads, 2 is for light. So that's something you have to bear in mind if you own one of these things. So that's really all we have to say about it. I mean, this thing, yeah, it just sits in the safe a lot. We don't really do a ton with it, but we're going to get it out in a few minutes and show you guys what we can do. Alright, so we're going to take a couple shots with this thing, run some variety of ammo through it. As you can see here, we have this large, this is usually what we shoot shotguns with. It's a huge assortment of ammo. There's some Magnum stuff in here, some big stuff. We have it just on the number 2 setting, which should be fine for most of this. So, I mean, we've already loaded it. I'm trying to load it with like stuff we believe is birdshot. A lot of this stuff really isn't labeled too good, but it's kind of old. So, good Lord. That's it. You were getting hit a bunch, weren't you?
All right. Great. Good. There. All right. Here we go. Son of a bitch. All right. Go and load it back.
Those really come flying out.
Yeah, they sure do.
I think a couple landed in here.
That went pretty well. Got a little bit of smoke.
That looks cool. Alright, so now what I've done is, oh my god, our targets are attacking each other. But I have actually found 5 or 6 3-inch Magnum shot shells that were in here, and 1 2 3/4 that is very hot. And so what we're gonna do now is, like I said earlier, we tried to find as light stuff as possible. So we're gonna change the gas setting on here. So you come up to the front, and this is unloaded, there's no mag in it. I don't know if you'll be able to see, there's a little pin right in there. There's a little tiny pin. See, there's 2 notches. So it's currently at the setting number 2. So what we're gonna do, I just have a little Allen key here. I'm gonna depress this, and that'll allow me to rotate the little cylinder here to setting number 1, which it is, and I believe it's at, come on, stick there. Okay, now it's at setting 1. So setting 2 is for lighter stuff, setting 2 for heavier stuff, like 3.5-3-inch Magnums, which we're about to shoot. So I don't know if you can see those numbers there, but that's what they're for. And you must do this so the rounds cycle correctly. And I'm a little nervous because even with the lighter stuff that we tried to find, this gun was recoiling something terrible. All right, let's see what happens. Took it. It took it. Watch the shells. Oh my god. Wow. Oh, it broke it. Oh my god, that was huge. And it had a failure here. Let's just take this one out. Yeah, this is like an old paper one. I think I only have one more anyway. Yep. So yeah, some of these old ones, this is like paper, and it got caught right there, so not gonna use that one. Let's see if there's another one in there. Actually, screw it, I don't want to shoot more than this. That hurts. One more. Oh crap. Oh, I didn't even notice it. Oh my gosh. Didn't even notice that. Man, look at that. That tore that up something terrible.
Come on now.
Oh my god.
Jesus Lord. Is that it?
No, I think you got one more.
Yeah, one more.
With the Magnum loads.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, that thing got wrecked. I mean, actually, there's no other gun that shoots Magnums like this one.
Yeah, that's a kicker, all right. It's not too bad. Let's see.
Was that the
There it
slug?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the slug.
There's your slug.
I was gonna say that one blew me back quite a bit, I think, when that came out.
Yeah, and look at this one. So there's that. Cool. Break my leg falling. Well, that was cool. You know, it's a good one. I recommend you guys pick one up if you have the means to hide the deer.
All right, yeah. Well, if you guys enjoyed it, please give us a sub if you could. It would mean the world to us, and you can keep getting alerted and viewing our content. That is pretty awesome, just like what you just saw. So, thanks again for stopping by, and have a good one.